So good afternoon to one and all present. So today we'll be discussing a concept called as an interface in Java. So in the previous class, when we were discussing about inheritance, I basically told you that basically there are 5 types of inheritances we have. First one is nothing but a single inheritance. Second one is nothing but a multi-level inheritance. Third one is multiple inheritance. Fifth one is nothing but hierarchical inheritance, and the last one is your hybrid inheritance. Now, when we are discussing all those particular 5 inheritances, I was basically telling you that Java basically doesn't support multiple inheritance. Okay, Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. And even in case of your hybrid inheritance, hybrid is nothing but a combination or of all the other inheritances. May say I can combine single, say for example multi-level inheritance, or I can combine hierarchical. All these combinations basically is nothing but called as an hybrid inheritance. So in fact to speak, Java doesn't support hybrid inheritance. Suppose if a hybrid inheritance is involving multiple, then it doesn't support. Otherwise, it supports. Specifically, Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. So we have seen let us see basically what is the reason it doesn't support multiple inheritance. Suppose say I have say class A is one parent class B is another parent class. Now, assume that I have a child class. This child class basically is being derived from two parents, A and B, which are nothing but a superclass. Now, suppose assume that C is a child class, and assume M1 is a method that is basically present in both superclass A as well as superclass B. Suppose if I write like this, class C extends A and B. So extends is a keyword that we're going to use while implementing inheritance. So if I write like this, and in the main function, suppose if I create an object for your C class, if I write C.M1, if I write C.M1 in the main method after creating an object for C, now can anybody tell me which M1 method will be called? Because M1 method is present in class A also, M1 method is present in class B also. When the child class calls this M1 method, which M1 method should be called? So there is a confusion. So child class has a confusion like which M1 method to call, whether M1 method of A to call or whether M1 method of B to call. So there is an ambiguity or a conflict or a confusion that is going to happen. So that is where multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. Now the question is, if the same concept, if at all I have to implement in some or the other way in case of a Java, how can I implement? Do we have any other go in order to overcome that particular problem? Definitely yes. So that can be done using the concept called as an interface. To overcome, or basically Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. If at all you want that particular concept to be implemented in Java, then we can use a concept called as an interface. Now, suppose same problem, how can I, suppose if I want to solve using a concept of interface, how do I do it? So suppose say this is the interface one I have, where M1 method is there, and this is another interface, again M1 method is there. In case of an interface, understand properly, in case of an interface, we have only the method declaration. In case of the interfaces, PI1, whatever I've taken, PI2 I've taken, here also both the interfaces are having M1 method, but only the method declaration, no definition is present. Now you may be asking, ma'am, since interfaces provides only the method declaration, where do we provide the implementation? The implementation of those particular methods, whatever your interfaces are declared, so that it's the responsibility of the child class, it's a responsibility of the child class to provide implementation for those methods. So now in this case, here you have M1 method declaration, here also you have M1 method declaration. Okay, so now whichever the child class that wants to implement this M1 method, yes, definitely happily they can implement. Okay, so here also I have only declaration, here also I have only declaration. So now the child class it's the responsibility of the child class to implement that particular say M1 method. Okay, so now let us in detail, basically let us try to understand with more examples. Okay, where exactly this interface concept is being used. Okay, an interface is considered as a service requirement specification. So in order to understand why it is considered as a service requirement specification, for example, assume that you have some requirement. You have some requirement. Suppose say you are running some business or you are running some educational institute. Let me consider our college itself. Okay, so our college want to develop, say for example, one software. Okay, in-house software they want to develop, where they want to maintain attendance, or like whatever we have BIMS today, which maintains the attendance of the students, the internal marks of the students, say proctoring meetings. Okay, all those particular stuff. So if an educational institute want to develop some software, something like that, in-house software. Okay, so now for example, what they do, so BMSIT people basically will call a, or they want to give a contract of this particular software to the third party. Now what happens? So BMSIT people are the customers, and third party people who are ready to give the solution for their requirement will come together. So they sit together and they basically they come out with a set of requirements. They sit together and they decide like, yes, what are the set of requirements that should be provided for the BMSIT. So both the parties will sit together. Okay, the party which is who needs the software and the party who can provide the software, they sit together, they check out with a set of requirements telling that yes, we need to maintain the attendance of the students, we need to maintain we want a software that maintains the attendance of a student, we want a software which maintains say proctoring details of the software, we want a software where it can accommodate the internal marks of the students. So they check out these set of requirements are nothing but called as a service requirement specification, or SRS, right? So that whatever you are whatever you are coming out with a final conclusion, that what are the set of requirements you need, both the parties you are deciding upon, that becomes an interface. You're telling that yes, marks, my software should maintain the marks, it has to maintain the, say for example, proctoring details, it has to maintain the attendance of the student, it has to send the details to the parents. All these are nothing but whatever you're specifying basically acts as an interface between the two parties. It's an agreement. It's an agreement. You're making an agreement. Two parties are making an agreement between like what are the set of requirements you basically you need, or they have to implement and give it to you. It's basically that becomes your SRS. Correct? So now another example, basically I want to tell you in order to make you understand more with respect to concept of interface. What exactly an interface? Suppose assume that I have a Java application. I have developed some Java application. My Java application wants to communicate with, say, I have some database, say Oracle database. We have many database in real-time scenario. Suppose say my Java application want to communicate with the Oracle database. So as all of us know that whenever my Java application want to communicate with the Oracle database, definitely we need something called as a device driver software, which communicates between my Java application and your Oracle database. We need a device driver. Suppose say somebody else want to say they have developed a Java application, same Java application, they want it to communicate with a MySQL database. Similarly, MySQL database also should have an appropriate device driver software. Yes or no? Somebody else want to connect with, say for example, Postgres SQL, right? We have different databases. Suppose if I want to connect this particular Java application to the different databases that are available, we know that in each and every case, we need the appropriate device driver software is required. Now the question here, what I'm going to ask is, what is that device driver? What is there inside device driver? Maybe a device driver of Oracle, device driver of MySQL database, device driver of PostgreSQL. What is there? Okay, so basically these device driver basically are nothing but a child classes. They are nothing but a child classes, which basically provides the implementation. Now the question is, I am telling that device driver can act as a child classes which provides the implementation. Now you may ask for what implementation they'll provide. Means now I basically need to connect my Java application to your databases, Java application to the databases. Now as a Java, basically the developer of Java, who is the developer of Java? Sun Microsystems. these Sun Microsystems will provide the set of classes or the set of interfaces. They provide a set of classes or they provide a set of interfaces that has to be implemented in their child classes. Yeah, Sun Microsystems, they tell that what are the set of classes, what are the set of interface, what are the set of methods. Only they'll specify the abstract view, only they'll specify the declaration of the functions or the declaration of only of the class, the classes and the methods that has to be implemented. They'll not provide you the complete details. They provide only the abstract view of the methods and classes that has to be implemented. Which are the methods to be implemented? Only they provide that details. Now the question is, who is responsible? They know what are to be implemented. Who will provide the details, implementation details? The implementation details should be provided by the appropriate or should be incorporated in the appropriate device drivers. Okay, suppose say your Java Sun people have defined, that is basically nothing but called as an API. Basically, we have come across a concept called as an API, application program interface. Basically, it tells what classes and methods to be implemented, but doesn't provide a complete implementation. So Java people, they have provided a JDBC API. So this JDBC API tells which are the classes and methods to be implemented. Only provides the abstract overview, this JDBC API. Now, by seeing the JDBC API, so each and every organization database, whether it's Oracle or MySQL or Postgres, they need to consider the JDBC API. They'll come to know that which are the methods and classes that has to be implemented. So they're going to implement as part of their device driver software. So this is where basically the interface comes into the picture in this particular example. Where is the interface? So you have a JDBC API, means Java Sun Microsystem will provide a JDBC API. JDBC API basically contains the set of classes, yes or no, set of classes and the methods that has to be implemented. So these things has to be implemented by the appropriate database organization, correct? So this acts as an interface. JDBC driver manager, which provides a JDBC API, acts as an interface. Now, what does an interface contains? An interface contains, or an interface tells what are the classes and methods to be implemented only in the abstract way. Only the declaration part will be given. The implementation should be done inside the appropriate device driver of a particular software. Whether you're using Oracle, if Oracle is using, they'll see what are the methods and classes that you're supposed to implement, which is available in a JDBC API. They provide implementation in their Oracle driver software. Similarly, MySQL, they'll see what are the classes to be implemented, methods to be implemented. They provide the implementation details in their appropriate device driver software. So this basically interface is nothing but basically contains it basically tells what are the classes and methods to be implemented, but they don't provide the complete implementation for those classes and methods. Only they provide the declaration. Okay, that is the concept of interface. This is one example. Say another example in order to understand the concept of interfaces. Say for example, all of us are making use of credit card today. Correct? We have a credit card, right? So credit card basically acts as an interface. Credit card acts as an interface. Now you may be worrying basically. So you may be making a transaction using the different say conversions like rupees, dollars, pounds. So I can make a transaction using rupees, or I can make a transaction using dollars. I can make a transaction using pounds. Using a credit card, I can make transaction using any one of these particular components. Correct? Now credit card here acts as an interface. So now, who is the child class who will be implementing that? Your bank account. Your bank account will be implementing that. It will be considering, okay, rupees, dollars, it should support. If the person, if is having a credit card, he can make a transaction using any one of these things, rupees, dollars, or pounds. So who will be providing the implementation? Bank account will be providing the implementation by considering all these particular transaction what the user will be making, right? So here credit card here acts as an interface, and implementation the class that makes it the implementation of those particular methods is nothing but a bank account. So it's an implementation class. This acts as an interface. Now I was telling you that interface basically specifies a set of methods or classes to. Now what credit card tells that, yes, these are the things that has to be implemented. See, rupees, dollars, pounds. These are the classes or the methods to be implemented. Correct? So once you know this, any bank account, so tomorrow, say for example, some new bank is going to come up, and that new bank also can issue the credit card to its customers, right? So now when they open the bank account, so that bank account, when they open the bank account, so they are responsible, that is nothing but a class that is responsible to implement this particular credit card, incorporating all these things, rupees, dollars and pounds, whatever the transaction the user is going to make, right? So here in this example, credit card acts as an interface. So the implementation class can be anything, but by the it's a responsibility of the implementation class to provide the detail for all these particular classes or methods. See, we have not specified rupees means how it will be, transactions should happen. We have not specified the details. Complete details we are not specified. Only we have specified the more peripheral information or abstract information of the classes and methods, what should be incorporated. That's it. How it will be incorporated depends from bank to bank. Correct? So now in this example, credit card acts as an interface. Okay, hope so you have understood what exactly your interface is by this time. Okay, so now as I was telling you that basically interface contains only the declaration of the methods and no implementation. Correct? Now the question is, who provides the implementation details? It's a responsibility of the child class to provide the implementation details. Correct? Now, let us go to the implementation details. Suppose if this is the example what I want to implement it. How do I do it? Okay, so this is an interface we know. The interface, name of the interface, and whatever your methods, the M1 is there, so you can write M1 here. Similarly, PI2 is an interface, so I'll write using a keyword interface. The interface is a keyword, PI2. Whatever the methods, say M1 is there, I'll write M1 here. Okay, only the declaration, only the declaration. Remember, interface will contain only the declaration part, no implementation part. That you should be clear. Now, for example, I told you that who provides implementation? Child classes should provide the implementation. Now, how do you implement it? Class, okay, CI. Suppose CI is a child class that wants to implement these particular methods. So, child CI implements. See, we are supposed to use, whenever you are implementing the concept of interface, the keyword that we should use is implements. In case of an inheritance, whenever you want to implement the inheritance concept, the keyword that we use is nothing but extends. Here, in case of your interface, whenever you want to implement the methods present which are part of the interface, the keyword that is used is nothing but called as an implements. Implements, where is that particular method present? PI1, comma PI2. Then you're going to write opening brace, closing brace, within which you write the implementation part of this particular M1, whatever the methods that are present which are part of the interface. Okay, so this is a theoretical aspect basically which I want to show. Now let us go to the program. Let us go to the program and let us see basically how do we write it. Okay, so let us go back to the program. So let me go. Okay, file. I'm going to open a new file. So okay, let me write the program. So how do you implement a concept? Using which keyword? How do you define an interface? Using a keyword. Say interface. Name of an interface. Say for example, I have L1. L1 is, I don't want to use L1. Say K1 is the interface. Name of the interface is K1. So I'll open the body of the interface. Okay, you type, you write what are the methods. What are the methods you want? Suppose I want one method as, say for example, only declare. I told you the declaration of the method it should contain. Public, say void I have. Say for example M1 method I have. So only declaration should be there. Correct? So I'm going to write another one. Say for example public. Okay, void M2. Okay, see M2. This is another method. You can have any method declaration for anything. For example, simple. In this case, I'm considering only one interface. Say what is the name of the interface? K1. So it is having. You can have any number of methods, but only it should have the method declaration. Clear? It's okay. Now I want. So now I want to create one class who is going to provide implementation for this particular methods which are part of the interface. So how do I do that? How do I do that? So I'll write one class. Okay, the class name is, say for example V. Name of the class that wants to implement is V. Now I want to implement the methods present in this. Which is a keyword I should use? Implements. Implements is a implements. Okay, implements. MENTS. Implements. So which one I want to implement? What's the name of the interface which I want to implement? Name of the interface is say K1. Correct? K1. So now press enter. Okay. Now I need to provide the implementation details, right? I need to provide the implementation details. So now how can I provide the implementation details? Say for example, I'll provide say public, okay, void M1, okay, public void M1, okay. So now I'll write simply I'll type a printf message. I'll print some message, okay, system dot out dot, okay, print ln, okay. So I'll write it as okay method one. Simply just I'm printing a message method one, okay. And next I'm going to provide the implementation details. Next I'm going to provide implementation details for method 2, okay. I'll just copy this, control C, okay, control V. So for which one I'm providing implementation details, because I have M2 also, I need to provide implementation details for M2 also, correct, M2. And I'm going to here for my identification, I'll write it as method 2, and this is your closing of your main, correct. So now what happens, you have defined one interface using a interface keyword in which you have provided the declaration of the method. You told the declaration of the methods, you told which methods should be there, you told in the interface you're telling which method should be there, but you're not telling the details of that particular method. The details should be provided by whom? By the child class. Whoever has a requirement, so those classes should provide the implementation for this particular methods, correct. So now which is a class that basically it is coming forward telling that I'll provide implementation? Class V. It is telling that yes, I can implement this particular methods of which are part of their interface, correct. So now I have provided some implementation for M1 and I provided implementation for M2. So let us save this. Control S, okay. Name of the program is say v.java. v.java is already there, no. So I'll save it as say vv.java, something like this. Let me see, vv.java. Okay, it is taking. So I'll change my in my program also vv. Okay, vv.java. Save this. Go back here. Execute the program. So how do you execute your program? So Java C. What's the name of a program? vv.java. Correct. So now what should I do? I'll run this. So, no compilation error. Basically I can run this. No compilation error. If I run this, I am going to get an error. Why? Because I have not written a main method to execute this program successfully. As I told you that in case of an interface, we provide only the methods and classes, only the abstract view, only the declaration part we are going to provide. So the child classes should provide the complete implementation. So I'll not run this particular program because I have not included the main method in my Java program. Okay, no compilation error in this case. Okay, now I'll go back to the program. I'll tell you some modification. Now it's a perfect program. Yes, definitely it is going to compile if I write the main method. If I write the main method, it is going to compile and it is going to execute. No problem with this. Now I want to show you some alternatives within this. What is that alternative? For example, see here, I don't have this. Okay, see here, I don't have this. Means the child class, whoever is providing the implementation for the methods which are part of your interface, it has provided the implementation only for one method, means partial implementation it has provided. For M2 method, it is not providing the implementation. So it is partial. So it is not implemented M2. Only M1 method it has provided the implementation. Let us run this particular program and see. So what's the output we are going to get? Okay. So Java C VV dot, okay, Java. See, what is the error message you are getting? VV is not abstract and does not override. VV means, what is VV? It's a child class. It is telling that it is not abstract and does not override abstract method M2, means you are not provided implementation for M2 method inside a class VV. Yes or no? That is what it is basically telling. Means what is that we need to understand from this example is, so if a class is providing an implementation, it should provide implementation for all the methods part of the interface. If it is not providing implementation for all the methods, Means to tell, if it is providing implementation only for one or two methods and rest of the methods if it is not providing implementation, then you are going to get an error something like this. VB is not abstract and does not override. Okay, now how do you fix the problem? Suppose say you want to provide only the partial implementation for M1, only partial implementation for M1, but still you want to handle this particular error. So how do you basically handle that is, okay, one way to handle that, suppose say VV is the class which doesn't know what is the implementation for M2. Assume VV doesn't know what is the implementation should be written for M2. Then what it can do is, one way to fix this particular problem is, I can use abstract. Already we have seen, already we have discussed what's the purpose of using an abstract keyword. So abstract keyword, if you're going to use, if your class is not completely implemented, means partial implementation. So one way to fix this particular problem is, I'm going to tell that yes, this is an abstract class, means class VB is not providing the complete implementation for the methods present in the interface. Next, you may be asking, then who will provide the implementation? Correct. So first we'll say, I say this. Let me compile. Let us check if it is going to compile. Okay. So I'll give Java C. Okay. And say VB dot, okay, Java. See, we have fixed this error. So it was telling earlier, it is not an abstract method. Now I told that class VB, I have set it to be abstract. Abstract in the sense, the implementation of the class is not complete, means it's incomplete implementation. So how did I fix? By using a keyword abstract. Now you may be asking, yes madam, somehow you have fixed using an abstract class. Now who will provide the implementation for M2? M2 implementation is not provided. So how that we can handle? So just I'll modify the same program and I'll show you how you can handle. Say, now you're telling that you'll be having some other child class. You're telling that you'll be having some other child class. Okay, so you'll tell that some other child class will implement that. That is why you are fixed using abstract. Okay, so class, okay, class, I'll tell say SUB as a subclass, okay, which is going to implement. Is it implement or extends? Okay, extends, okay, extends which class? Which class? VV class. Okay, okay, see you. Now you're going to provide implementation for, okay, public, for which method you need to provide an implementation? For M2 method. Okay, so you're going to write system dot out dot, okay, println. Okay, so simply I'm going to write it as method 2. Okay, see here. Now I have fixed this, but somebody definitely should provide implementation for M2. No, who will provide? Its subclass. It's a responsibility of its subclass to provide the implementation what the other class has not provided. So let us save this particular program. I'll go here. Let us run this. Okay, Java C, say VB dot Java. See, you're getting, okay, some error you're getting. Okay, go back here, make the changes. SY, yes, I should write. Okay, stop here. Okay, go here. You can stay. Control S. Go back here. See here, now we are able to fix it. Now we are able to fix it. So means the other child class was below this class VB has provided the implementation. This is one way to provide the complete implementation. Either the first child class can provide the implementation if it knows for all the methods which are part of the interface, or it can provide the whatever the implementation it knows, and you can declare that particular class as abstract, telling that so I know only this particular part of implementation, the rest part of the implementation will be provided by my immediate subclass. This is the information. So one more thing basically I want to show you here is, okay, one more variation I want to show you here is, For example, assume that, okay, I'll remove this particular class. Okay, I'll delete this particular class. Okay, if I basically I'm using an abstract. Okay, what I'll try to do is, okay, let it be abstract. I'll remove this. Can anybody tell me, if I remove this, what will be the access specifier for M1 will be taken inside your class VB? Anyone? What's the access modifier that will be taken for M1 method inside your class VB? Already in the previous class we have discussed. If you don't specify any access modifier, by default it takes default specifier. Default means whatever the method, M1 method you are declared inside the interface is public. What do you mean by public? If a method or variable declared as is declared as public, so such variables or such methods are accessible within the class, outside the class, within the package, or outside the package. But here it is public. But now if I don't write anything here, I'm going to get an error. I'm going to get an error. Why? Because what's the access specifier here it is going to take? It is going to take default. It is going to take as a default specifier. So let me save this and show like what is the output we are going to get for this particular program. Okay, here, see, we are getting this error. Two errors basically you're getting, indicating two errors. What is that? You can read this error. M1 in VB cannot implement M1 in K1. What is K1 interface? M1, where is M1 in VB means you are trying to provide the implementation, cannot be implemented in K1, void M1. So what is the reason? Attempting to assign weaker access privileges means when you consider public access specifier, it was having a public access specifier. Here default means you are trying to reduce the scope of the access specifier. Default has less scope compared to your public, correct? Default access specifier has less scope compared to your public access specifier. Means you are trying to reduce the scope of your access specifier. So this is not allowed. This is one thing you need to observe. Whenever you are trying to provide, whenever the child classes are trying to provide the implementation for its interface, at least you retain the access specifier, whatever is your interface, whatever is provided inside the interface. Don't try to reduce the scope of the access specifier. Here, why I am getting this error is because I am trying to reduce the scope of the access specifier from public to default, which is not allowed, So that's the reason I'm getting this particular error. At least you need to retain whatever is there in the interface, whatever the method declaration is there, whatever is the scope in the interface, at least you maintain that. See, now I'm going to save this. Okay, let me execute this. Okay, Java C. Okay, VB dot say for example Java. See, now we have fixed it. Means what does it tells is the scope of the access specifier should be same as that of whatever is there in the inside the interface. If you can increase, but at the same time you cannot decrease the scope of the access specifier. You cannot decrease the scope of the access specifier. So that's what basically is being shown in the slide. Also, you can just have a view on the slides. Okay, see in the first one, while implementing the methods, we cannot reduce the scope of the access specifier. Just now we have seen, see this is our interface, and this is the class that provides the implementation for the interface. See here, I have not written this. Public is the access specifier what I have inside the interface, but here I missed it. Okay, I have shown you like when I compile, it tells that we have weaker access privileges. Yes, that's what we have seen in the program. So now what I did to fix that particular problem, at least we need to retain whatever the access modifier we have specified in the interface for that method, that should be retained. Okay, that also I have shown you. Now the next question is, as I told you that the class that is providing the implementation should provide implementation for both the methods. This also I have shown you. It can provide implementation for both the methods if at all it knows what to provide the implementation. If it knows what exactly to get implemented, it can write or it can provide the implementation. If not, the class should be declared as abstract. See here. Now, for example, assume class service provider 2 knows only the implementation part for M1. It doesn't know implementation part for M2. Yes or no? But what to do? How do we fix this particular problem? Using a keyword called as an abstract. Declare the class as an abstract. So it means when you declare a class an abstract, you're telling that you're providing the partial implementation. You're providing the partial implementation. Okay. So because you don't know implementation for some other method. Okay. This is one way already we have seen we can fix it. Next one is you can see here. This is a class which is providing implementation for all the methods which are part of your interface. Yes, this also we have seen successfully this program got executed for us. Right, same thing, whatever I've shown you, just I put it in the slides so that it can act as a material for your exams or test. And similarly, here I have the class that is providing the implementation. This also I have shown you that suppose here you have an abstract. Okay, so now what you can do is here who is responsible to provide the implementation for the other method is nothing but so its immediate subclass can provide the implementation details. So this also basically I have shown. Okay, so this is basically the how do this you can see here defining an interface. This particular part, whatever we have seen in the example, is nothing but called as a definition or defining an interface. How do you implement an interface? The child classes basically provides an interface. You can provide, if you know the implementation for all the methods, you can provide the implementation details. Okay, if you don't know the implementation, then you can make the class or you can declare the class as abstract. Okay, so this is all about your interfaces. Okay, you have one concept called as an interfaces in your module 4. So with this, we are covering the concept of interface. Hope so all of you have understood the concepts. Okay, thank you for attending the class. Thank you. I request everyone to enter your names and USN in the chat box.